is to hoping that this doesn't fall over. I've tried to do this a few times and my phone keeps falling, which you know is understandable. I don't blame it, but it's a bit annoying. Anyway, hi, my name's Bailey and welcome to my channel. This is my vlog, so hello. I haven't vlogged in a while and I've been wanting to because I missed you. I haven't been on the tubes in a bit, and it's upsetting. I really love making videos, and interacting with y'all is so much fun, so I'm back. I have been really busy with school, and saying that now, I do have finals coming up, so like, will I be so present even now? I don't even know. So I've been wanting to get back into making videos in the new year and toward like the end of like last year, which by the way, Happy New Year 2020. I haven't made like my videos like favorite books of 2019, least faves of 2019, 2020 reading aspirations. I don't know. I haven't done those videos yet. I will be doing them, and by the end of January, I sort of promise, but also I just don't make promises because I suck at following through. But I do plan on doing those videos, so those will be coming out at some point. I hope to film that either today or tomorrow, those videos today or tomorrow. I just can't figure out how to get my phone to sit without it falling down. Okay, anyway, I keep losing my train of thought, and that's not good, but it's fine. As you can maybe tell, I'm kind of exhausted and like kind of out of my mind at the moment. Again, it's all about school. School's a little much, you know? Since it's like the end of the semester, coming to the end of the semester, all my classes are now becoming like, you know, rush mode, like end of the semester sort of stuff. Like,
get all these assignments in, here's a project, do revision, study for your finals. Your life's gonna be over if you don't do well on your finals, okay?
So, you know, it's a lot.
We don't want you, bitch.
So yeah, that's all happening. It just be how it be sometimes, dudes. Okay, this dude just tried to cut me off, and I was not having it. Well, should I talk about what I'm reading right now? Sorry I was just on tangents, it's fine. My vlogs are usually long anyway, so it's fine. I might have like minor ADD, so it's okay. But let's talk about what I'm reading, because that is what this channel is based around and what you're probably here to see. Sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought. It's okay though. Okay, currently reading. I am currently reading, actively I guess, The Glass Castle by Jeanette something. I'll put a picture of it here. I'm listening to it on audiobook, and it's really my like dog park audiobook right now, because every time I go to the dog park, listening to it, I remember like I checked it out from my school's audiobook library, and so I've been listening to that, and I'm about 2.5 hours in. I think there's 8 hours left. I'm currently enjoying it. It's a playground zone, Bailey, please slow down. I'm currently enjoying it. I think it's pretty good. I think it's getting a little more interesting, but I really can't give you a good synopsis or description. I think it's a memoir, and it's about Jeanette something, like life, and I think it's focusing a lot on her family, and they move around a lot, and they're like very poor, and they're like, I don't know, her parents are a little bit weird from what I've seen in the last 2 hours. Again, I'm sorry for this being really bad, like as a description, but I actually like didn't read the description when I started listening to the book. I'm just giving you what I've got from 2 hours. But I'm pretty sure it's a memoir, and it's actually really interesting. You know, they're getting to a lot of like stuff about her family and like poverty, but I'm so far enjoying it, and I plan to continue listening to it. Another thing that's going on is I have been waiting for the Daisy Jones and the Six audiobook from my library for like 3 or 4 months, and I didn't realize I had it checked out from the library for like 15 days, and I didn't realize it. So now I have like 10 days left on this audiobook, and I need to read it then, or else I'm gonna have to wait like another 4 months to get this back, right? But the thing is, I started trying to listen to this audiobook, and no fault to the people who are like voicing the audiobook. It's not them. I just don't like the book. Sue me. I've read like 150 pages of it, like just physically, and I didn't like it. Like, I don't like that book. But I've heard the audiobook is super, super good. So I'm like, I should listen to it, you know, give it a chance. But I really don't like it. I don't know, like, what it is specifically to tell you that I don't like about this book. But I think a lot of it is I don't care about Daisy. Like, it's all just about how Daisy is just so pretty and she's just so great. She's just so talented. But like, oh, she is an addict, but she's just so talented, and there's just something about Daisy. I just don't like it. It feels like it's shoving down my throat how like fucking amazing Daisy is. I don't know what I'm trying to communicate here. It's just I don't like Daisy. Daisy, no. I don't like her at all. I don't like Billy. Billy's just like, and I don't like this book. But I'm trying to give it a chance because I know everybody loves it. Like, literally everybody loves this book, and I don't want to be that person who doesn't like it, who didn't finish it. You know what I mean? Like, I've read about half of it, right? And I don't like it. I don't anticipate liking this book, like maybe 3 stars at best, but I don't anticipate loving this. But I want to at least finish it to be able to say, like, I read this thing that everyone liked and I have formed an opinion on it over the full book, you know? Because I have my halfway opinion on this book is I do not like it. So, yeah. I want to read it. Don't anticipate liking it, but like maybe I don't have to hate it. And I think the best way to try it out is the audiobook, because everyone's like, the audiobook's amazing. It's a full cast to my knowledge, which is exciting. But I just don't like the content, so it's really hard listening to it still. So I think I've listened to like 10 pages. So I'm gonna try and listen to it before I lose the audiobook. But I make no promises, so yeah. I am going to pick up my brother now, so I will check in with you later. But I hope this clip is usable, because I feel like I was rambling. But even if I was rambling, I'm probably still gonna use it. I feel like I'm sucking. I'm so sorry if this vlog is really bad, because I can feel that English is not leaving my lips well currently, and I'm not forming good thoughts, so I'm sorry, but I cannot help. It's just how it is, you know, folks? It's just how it is. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. What are you doing here? Okay, that was dumb, but it's okay. Hello. I haven't checked in with you for 2 days, I do believe. Don't look at my desk. It's a mess because I was studying and writing out notes. Just look at my messy bookshelf instead. I haven't checked in with you, but that's because I haven't really read a lot, so like, what's the point of checking in? But I just took a bath, and I did take some B-roll footage. I don't know if I kept it because I think it's kind of weird, but I also see people like doing bathtub footage often. I don't know. I think it's sort of strange, but I might keep it in, you know? Who knows? But I thought I'd talk to you because I actually started a book, and I actually have an update on Daisy Jones, which is I'm not doing it. I am not going to read that book right now. As much as I want to read the audiobook, and it's going to take me like 4 months to get the book back, I'm not into it, and I don't want to listen to it right now. So like, hopefully at some point this year I get to it physically, audiobook in some form, but not right now, because, you know, I think sometimes you have to realize that it just isn't the time to read a book, and it's not Daisy Jones' time for me right now. So I've moved on to a different book, and that is You by Caroline Kepnes. Now, a little bit of a story, not a story, but like, I've watched the show, and I would call myself a fan of the show. I like the show a lot. I watched season 2 like the day it came out, and it was awesome. I think I like season 1 better just because it's a little more ominous, but I loved season 2, and Penn Badgley is such a good actor. Like, the fact that he can portray this skeezy ass character so well. so amazing. Props to him for being a great actor. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up the book. The Indigo right near my house, random fact, never has you in stock, but always has Hidden Bodies. So I went to a different Indigo the other day and just checked, and they had it. Unfortunately, they have the TV show covers, which, another side tangent, I hate TV show and movie covers. Let me grab after for a second to illustrate my point here. So there's a type of movie cover that is this kind of like glossy feel, and it's the same with after, that are just horrible because they always end up having someone's humongous face on them or people half naked making out, and you can never bring these books in public really, or else you look crazy. Like, do I want to be out in public on a train and then someone looks over and I just have two half naked young adult teens on my cover of my book? No, I don't want that. No. I don't know. I hate TV shows as movie covers of like, not romances, because this is not a romance. It's a mystery thriller. It's not a romance. Definitely not a romance. Don't think you as a romance. The TV show makes you kind of want to feel like it's a romance, but it's not a romance. I've seen people categorize it as a romance. It's not. I don't know. I hate when there's just people on I don't like real people on my books, actually. And as much as the original cover of You is not that extraordinary, it's kind of basic, it doesn't have Penn Badgley's strangely sharp face on it. Like, Penn Badgley is a nice looking dude. I'm not gonna be insulting his looks. He looks great. He looks fine. But having his strangely sharp features staring out into the world while I'm reading isn't exactly what I want. Like, I don't want to be creeping out everybody else around me with this face, you know? That was my side tangent on hating people on my books and book to movie adaptation covers. Speaking on this book, I've read 40 pages and I'm on chapter 6, and I'm actually like really liking it. As much as I already know the story, even though there's some modifications in the TV show, I am enjoying reading it. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on this book. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. I know the general opinion on the show is that it's better than the book, and so far I'd agree, but I don't hate the book. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I'm not a big thriller person, and like nothing that thrilling has occurred so far, but it's pretty good. I'll give you a description first. This book follows Joe Goldberg, and he is a stalker, basically, and he works at a bookshop, and one day this girl named Beck walks into the bookshop, and he becomes obsessed with her. And so it kind of follows him. It's in second person, so it's like, you do this, and you do that, and Joe's being weird and creepy. And yeah, it's just following him, stalking her, and being generally just a weird dude. And while that's all well and good, a critique I do have is some things don't make sense. In the book, he'll be talking about, side tangent, he says the word pussy a lot. And I'm not loving it. It's like a word that I don't exactly love hearing. I don't know, not for any real reason, it just kind of makes me uncomfortable. That and panties. Those two words make me very uncomfortable for like no reason. Screw moist. Moist is fine. Pussy and panties, not my fan. Like, not a fan of those words. But some things don't make sense. He'll be talking about like Beck and her pussy, and then suddenly he's broken into her email. But I'm like, where'd you get the password to the email? It doesn't explain where he's getting passwords for things, and I think that kind of goes along with the fact that this plot is very, very fast. Like, it's moving really, really quickly, and that's like, it's not bad actually. I think it's like keeping me engaged, but I don't know for sure. I haven't like fact checked this yet, but I don't know if it happens in the first episode, but I think it might because the episode's like 40 minutes long. Like, it goes from he meets Beck to saving her in the train station. And for some reason, seeing it happen in 6 chapters in the book made it feel really, really fast, even though I think it actually happens in 1 episode in the show. But regardless, it felt super fast. But maybe that was just me and my weird perception of like how things would be going. I don't think that's not a critique per se, but it's just something I've noticed is that things are moving really quickly. But it's insane. It's not creeping me out yet, although sitting in a bathtub reading about a guy looking in through a woman's window watching her masturbate is weird. It's a weird experience. Like, it's a very strange experience reading this book about a guy stalking someone when you're sitting in your room, you know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel like someone's watching you. And that's not exactly the best feeling, you know what I mean? It's also very strange. Like, you feel weird reading this book because you're looking through, like, Joe's perception, and it sometimes makes, like, it makes you feel like you're being watched, but also makes you feel like you're watching someone, and it's very strange. It's a very, very strange dynamic. I wouldn't call the writing style that revolutionary. Like, it's not horrible in my opinion so far, but it's not, like, mind-blowing. But the style it's written in, like, the second person, I think it's second person, whole thing is kind of cool. Never read anything like that. And, like, I think having watched the show, I can kind of imagine the characters and, like, Penn Badgley doing the voiceover, which I think is kind of fun. I appreciate Penn Badgley as an actor so much after You, because he's just portraying such a shitty person so fucking well. Claps, snaps for Penn Badgley. Guess what, dudes? I have one more week before finals start, and then this semester's over, and I am free from math for a whole last semester, and I cannot wait. But until then, I have a bunch of homework to do, so I will catch you later. But I think that was a good update. I'm actually kind of proud of that update. Go me. I feel like I look a bit like a granny right now, like, hey, sweetie. How you doing, sweetheart? It's fine. It's fine. I love looking like a granny at 16. It's really encouraging. I just did a bunch of homework and it's 1:04 a.m. and I have school tomorrow, but that's not gonna stop me from hanging out with my boy Joe. Yeah, I thought since I'm going to be awake, might as well read, so I'm gonna turn my nightlight on, try to, like, set some ambiance, and maybe read for, like, half an hour or so, maybe an hour, depending. And, yeah, make some progress and hang with my boy. Look at that. Isn't he, like, a super friendly face? Don't you want to hang out with him? Who wouldn't want to? Hey, y'all. So, I look hideous AF right now, but that is aside the point. I have an update for you that has nothing to do with reading and all to do with school. And you know what? You should listen because I'm giving good advice here. So I am in the middle of pulling off a presentation that I have to get ready for tomorrow that I have to present. And it is the end of my semester and this is our last project in social studies. And so when this girl approached me to work with me as her partner, I said yes because I was like, it's the last project of the semester. What can go wrong? A little background, I've worked with this girl on at least 2 other projects in which she has done the same thing as she's doing right now to me, but basically, every time we have a project together, like, the night before, I go on the assignment and I'm doing final touches or, like, doing the assignment, and she's doing nothing, and then I go to school the next day and she's done nothing, and then she finishes it in, like, the period before, and it stresses me out, and I don't know why I ever think people will change, because they never will. So, my advice to you is that if you do a project with someone and they are unreliable then, and then you do another one with them because, you know, screw up once and I'll forgive you and give you another chance, screw up twice and maybe it's on me if I let you work with me again. But once someone screws you over twice, stop working with them. Just stop. For your own well-being, stop. Okay? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Hello, I have not talked to you in a bit, and although I look like a disaster, I'm going to give you this update because I have read quite a bit. I am 45% through The Glass Castle, so basically 50%, and I'm still really enjoying this. I don't have much to say on this. It's still just Jeanette Walls recounting her life story, and it is super interesting. The family dynamic is just so crazy and weird, but captivating at the same time. And, like, there's so many things that enrage me in this book and actions that, like, her parents take that are so upsetting. But, like, I don't know, I'm just so interested in this book and I'm really, really enjoying this. And then the creme de la creme of literature, You by Carolyn Kepnes, I just hit 50% in this book, and man, I don't even know, like, there's a lot going on. It's very graphic, but not like murder-wise, more sexually. Like, Joe just is going at it often, and it's a little bit interesting how much detail is put into that part of the writing, but not the actual grammar of his writing. Like, there's things where, you know, if you have, what is it? A vowel. So if you have, like, if you go, like, I have a, and then if the next word has a vowel, it has to be an. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, there's things like that that aren't correct. Sometimes sentences just, like, end abruptly without, like, the last words. They don't make sense. And it's just, like, the writing itself, when it's not super messy and, like, unedited, is okay. Like, it's not bothering me that much. But then there's sections that are just, like, feel like nobody looked at this before it got published, and it's just kind of weird. But the story itself is fine. I literally hate every single character in this book, but something I've noticed is I get that they're bad people, and even Beck, I don't know if we're supposed to think Beck is a good person, because she clearly isn't really, but, like, there's so much slut-shaming in this book, and at first I just brushed it off, because I'm like, oh, they're kind of flawed people, kind of bad people, whatever, like, makes sense that they would be a shitty person. But then when they just keep bringing up, like, slut-shaming, being like, oh, that's, like, why are you dressing like a whore, or, like, she's just a hoe, and, like, oh, they're just, like, web cameras, oh, well, that's a prostitute, like, they just keep going on and on. I'm like, can we drop it? Like, why are you acting like this? Like, it's starting to get on my nerves. But, like, I am still engaged. Like, I wouldn't say, I guess enjoying reading this book. Like, it's capturing my attention, and I'm reading it. So, I mean, like, that's great. But it's very upsetting and kind of annoying, but still capturing my attention. Okay, so I haven't updated you in a hot second, and the reason is because I was determined not to update or finish this vlog until I finished a book, and I finished a book, and that was The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book, and I didn't give it a 5 stars, not because of anything, like, wrong with this book, but you know when, like, you don't have the 5-star feeling? Like, I didn't have the 5-star feeling when I finished this book. It didn't, like, give me that feeling like I have to give this 5 stars. So I gave 4 to 5 stars, which is still really good, and I really enjoyed this. This was actually my first read of 2020, so starting off strong, finishing my first book on the 19th of January, but, like, you know what? Gotta start somewhere. But yeah, I'm really glad this was the book I started with. 4 to 5 stars is really good. I love this a lot. Jeanette Walls narrated the audiobook, and I listened to the audiobook, and it was so good. Like, I loved it so much. Like, her writing was so engaging. Like, her writing was super good, and she's written other books. I don't know what they're about, because this is her memoir, right? So I'm like, I don't know what the other ones are about. But I would definitely be willing to check those out because her writing is amazing. It's just so engaging and paints this like such a clear picture in your mind. It is so good. So good. Like, this was definitely worth the read, and I loved it a lot. Very good. There's a lot of things in here that I could really relate to. And I really love that. It was really fun to read, and also, like, heartbreaking at times. Like, the shit they go through is insane. But, like, you should definitely read this. I'm not reviewing it well. I suck at verbalizing my thoughts. But, you should read this. It's really good. So, she starts in, like, the worst situation, and built herself up, and all of her siblings like managed to find their way even through these hardships they faced. And it was so good, and you need to read it. I definitely recommend. But yeah, my first read of 2020, this guy. When it comes to you, come here. Not you. You. I'm still like halfway through. I haven't read it in a bit. I haven't. So I don't have much to say about this guy, but it's getting a tad bit dry in the middle. So that's why I kind of haven't read any more of it. I did crack the spine accidentally, but this book is very hideous because it's a movie cover or TV show cover anyway, so I don't really care. And I will probably be finishing this or reading this in between vlogs because I want to get this vlog up, and vlogs have to come to an end at some point. This is the end of it. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Bailey. Bye.